Let's go back to Kylie at social media and see what questions we have.
All right, looks like we have a new one under our Facebook page. It says, it's a math question. Can you help me find the greatest common factor of 24, 40, and 60?
Okay.
You can go ahead. That's actually going to be kind of similar to what you were doing with the least common denominator, right, with the fractions?
Mm-hmm. So you said the numbers, Kylie, one more time. It was 24.
24, 40, and 60.
40 and 60. Okay. When we do greatest common factor, let me actually break this down, this word. I wrote GCF just because that's probably how it's most commonly known. But greatest common factor. First off, let's just break down what this actually means. First, we'll go with this word factor. A factor, or factors, are numbers that multiply together, or not just numbers, but they could also be variables, but they are things that multiply together to give us a product. So, for example, if I did 2 times 3 to get 6, my factors are the numbers that multiply together to give me that product of 6. So 6 is our product, is the name of our answer when we multiply. Product. So factors would be numbers that multiply together to give us these numbers. So for example, factors of 24, maybe 1 times 24, 2 times 12, so on. The next thing we can maybe break down is this word common, meaning, if Nathan and I had something in common, for example, we have the fact that we teach math in common. And so something that's common between us is something that's the same. So we're thinking of factors that are the same. And then greatest meaning the largest. So the largest factor that's the same on our list of factors. So I have this little, this graphic organizer, or maybe a tool that might help with organizing greatest common factor. I think remembering back to my struggles with finding greatest common factor was just making sure or knowing that I had all of the factors. I definitely knew things that multiplied together to give me 24, but I was not sure, especially when I got to the larger numbers, if I listed all of my factors. So I have a little bit of a graphic organizer that you can use to help you make sure that you have all of the factors listed. So for example, 24, we're going to, it's like a little T-chart, and I'm going to list my factors in the T-chart. So I'm going to start and do this in a very organized way. I'm going to start with the number 1. We always know that 1 and itself are factors of a number. So I can even already go ahead and do this with 40 and with 60 as well. And I can say 1 times 40, that's going to give me 40, and 1 times 60. So we always know 1 in itself. So the way I organize this is I'll just kind of continue going up in the numbers. So I'll start next with 2. And I asked myself, is 24 divisible by 2? And if it is, I can do 24 divided by 2, and that'll give me my other factor. So in other words, 2 times 12, 24. I'll continue with this process. So 3. 24 is divisible by 3, so 24 divided by 3 is 8. So therefore, 3 times 8, 24. Keep going. 4, it is divisible. We get 6. And here's how I know I'm finished. So I'll try 5. Well, you might know that 24 is not divisible by 5. So I might cross that out. And then I get to 6. Now, as soon as I hit repeats, I already know that 6 is a factor of 24. It's already on my list. So that means I'm finished listing factors. So I don't even need to list 6 as a factor here because it's already on my list. Now I've met in the middle and I'm done. I know I have all of the factors of 24. I'll do the same for 40. So 1 and 40. The next one we're going to test is 2. 2 times 20 is 40. Then maybe we'll test 3. 40 is not divisible by 3. And it also helps to know your divisibility rules. So that would be something maybe to look up, is divisibility rules too. Going on 4. 4 times 10 is going to give you 40. 5 also works, 5 times 8. 6 does not work because divisibility rules for 6 is that it has to be divisible by both 2 and 3, and it's not divisible by 3, so not divisible by 6, therefore. Same 7, it's not divisible by 7. And then now we're at 8, which if you notice, it is already on our list. So now we've listed all of our factors of 40. Well, again, we're going to continue the same thing with 60, and it's kind of nice to maybe see the example a couple times. So 2 times 30 is going to give me 60. 3 times 20 would give me 60. 4 times 15 would give me 60. 60 has a lot of factors. 5 times 12 will give me 60. 6 times 10. And then 60 is not divisible by 7. It's also not divisible by 8. And then continuing on, hang on, need more space here, not divisible by 9. And as you notice, 10 is already on our list. So now we're finished. So what we're doing now, so we found all of our factors. That really is the first step of finding the greatest common factor. So we got this part checked off, done. We found the factors. Now we want to find the common factors. And when I say common, it's going to need to be the same in all 3 lists. So we're trying to find factors that are the same in all 3 lists. I'm going to circle all of my common factors in red. So you might notice that, all right, I tend to start from my number that has the most factors and just check the other 2. So 60 is not on both of my lists, neither is 30. 20 is on 2 lists, but it has to be on all 3. 15, nope. 12, not on all 3 lists, but you might notice 10 is on all 3. Well, actually, 10 is not. What am I thinking? 10 is, though, common between 40 and 60. We look at 6. 6 does not work. 5, also not on all 3 lists, but you might notice 4 is on all 3 lists. So that is a common factor. We'll double check the rest of them. 3 is not on all of them. 2 is also on all of them, so that's a common factor. And of course, 1 is also a common factor. So now I have all my common factors listed. The last little bit of this part is to find the greatest one. So out of 1, 2, and 4, 4 is my greatest. That is on all 3 lists. So 4 is the greatest common factor of 24, 40, and 60.